we started with a vision that the whole world starts using sustainable batteries. So when we are thinking and when we are planning for a bigger picture, we have to. When you thought you have to do it, you have to do it, no
Mhm.
matter what happens. How will you do it? Why will you do it? What will happen? Don't think about anything. Just do it and everything will be sorted very soon.
Hello and welcome to Green Shift, where we try to make sense of sustainability. I'm your host, David Austin, and I'm joined by my co-host, Dr. Victor Nian, founding co-chairman of the Center for Strategic Energy and Resources, CSER. And Victor, today we're playing my interview with Nimisha Varma and Kash Singh. Nimisha Varma is the co-founder and co-chair of Aloe E-Cell, the world's first aloe vera battery making company. Nimisha led the development of aloe vera-based batteries, offering a sustainable solution to the global challenges of e-waste and energy storage. Her company recently received a special mention for its sustainable battery technology at the Seoul Design Awards 2025. In 2020, it was awarded India's National Startup Award in Energy. And in 2019, Aloe E-Cell was named a global winner and awarded Best Bold Idea by Schneider Electric. And Kash Singh is founder of Primea.Earth, which is a startup selling all sorts of sustainable products online, and they're the sole distributor of Aloe E-Cell batteries in Singapore and Malaysia. So, Victor, you weren't able to join this conversation, but I know you've watched the interviews. So what did you think?
Well, I think it's really interesting idea. I mean, every time when we talk about batteries, it's just much less known to people, which is the environmental damages the battery could potentially do in itself and also from the supply chain. Today is always lithium-ion battery, nickel metal hydride, not so much anymore. But then the batteries are never designed for recycling, not from the start. Now that we have an innovation that actually uses natural or biogenic material, I think that would be something amazing.
Here's my interview with Nimisha Varma and Kash Singh.
I would like to ask a very simple question. What do you do with your used battery? Or what do you do with the battery of, like, if your clock stopped working or your remote control stopped working? What do you do with the battery that's there?
Dump it.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's true. That's 100% true. I have not found even a single person till now who says that I keep the batteries or I do something with it. The answer is very clear. We take the battery and just throw it into the dustbin. And similarly, almost 89 billion batteries are just thrown across the world. If I talk about India, we are throwing almost 230 crore batteries every year. And one single battery is like polluting almost 1.67 lakh liters of clean drinking water. When we talk about sustainability, we think about batteries. When we think about batteries, we think about bigger batteries. We are shifting to lithium ion, sodium ion, etc. But what about the technology we are still using and that's there with all of us from generations? That is where Aloe E-Cell comes in. So Aloe E-Cell is an alternative to the toxic batteries we have been using since ages in our routine devices like remote controls, clocks, toys, etc. And the best part is that these batteries are 100% eco-friendly. It's made out of aloe vera. And not only this provides a better durability and performance in various terms along with a better price. So this is what we are doing. Aloe E-Cell is the world's first aloe vera battery making company. And it's founded by me as well as my co-founder, that is Naveen Suman. Aloe E-Cell was started in 2019 with both of us with a vision to actually make a better battery world. We have been hearing it from ages like battery is a problem, battery is this, or we need a solution, we need to do something. So that's the time where somebody took the first step. So, and I'm very happy and proud to say that, yes, we took that step. We took very simple and small steps. And today is the day when we have already started selling it. The product is actually available for the masses.
Very good. Very impressive. How long has it been on the market?
July 2025, we have been in the market. In India, we are present in 18 states, as well as we are also present in Singapore now. And also in Mauritius, we are coming up in 3 to 4 more countries in the near future, like in just 3 months.
That's amazing. Who thought of using aloe vera? Or was it you knew aloe vera had this property first, or you searched through the different type of materials? And how did you come up with the idea for this to make this product work?
So while we found out that, okay, this is a big problem. Of course, there would have been a lot of people who would have thought that, okay, this is a problem, let's do something. So we researched, first of all, that why it's not being thought of or why nothing is coming up in this. So we found out that here a lot of things plays a major role. First is the unit economics that doesn't work much in this case, because this is a kind of a everyday product or a consumable product that's available at very lower rates. Secondly, the problem was the kind of infrastructure that's there. It has been there from, I will say, more than like 50, 70 years. So bringing even a small innovation requires a lot of changes at industry or manufacturing level. So that is again a lot of R&D, a lot of funds, a lot of things that has to be involved. Of course, the policy and regulations that has to be in place. We researched on like 21 plus herbal products or a lot of bioavailable compounds, the products that could be available, which are easily available and can actually be scaled up. In that duration, we found out that aloe vera was fulfilling a lot of our mandates. It contains a lot of water, it contains a lot of vitamins, minerals, polysaccharides. Now, the second challenge was to actually incorporate it into a battery. That is where the tech was involved, making it the perfect electrolyte, making it the perfect material that can actually power up the devices. The third challenge was we cannot ask the whole industry to change their devices or change their battery slots just because we have innovated a new technology or it is good or anything. So we had to fit that. And there came the designing part. So we actually worked on the design of the battery, how we have to make it a commercialized product, or like making 1 2 batteries by yourself and then making it into millions and billions of batteries. It's a totally different game. So on that part, we worked on complete manufacturing process. We worked on a lot of customizations in the machines or a lot of customizations in the process. Because for us, earlier we thought, okay, we made a product, now commercializing it is easy. But then we understood that making a prototype or making a product and actually commercializing it are two very different games. Because till now we did everything at a very small scale, and now we have to do everything at a very vast scale, I would say. And that involves a lot of people, a lot of manpower, whom you have to train, whom you have to give the vision, and whom you have to make perfect. Because at the end of the day, if I say that these batteries, I or Naveen, we are not making all these batteries by ourselves, like by our hand. We have just set up the process, we have set up the technology, and now they are the real manpower, our team who is actually making it. And on that part, I'll say that I'm also very lucky because the team I have got, they all believe in us and they have understood that it's just not a normal company who is just making a normal product. It's like a company who is actually making something that is bringing the shift that is required. Like you said, the green shift podcast I do. So actually, we are also, our team is also trying to make a shift for the green requirement that is there for the world.
So 100% eco-friendly battery. What does that mean? When you say 100% eco-friendly, tell me.
So when we say 100% eco-friendly, we talk about the battery as a whole. We talk about all its components, be it the electrolyte, be it the cathode, be it the anode, be it the different kinds of washers, seals. Everything we are using is free from all sorts of toxic chemicals that can actually harm ourselves. So our batteries, I'm proud to say, they are free from all sorts of mercury, nickel, cadmium, all sorts of these materials. We have found eco-friendly alternatives for them. When we talk about the packaging, we are working on the packaging part, that it should not harm the environment. It should also be in a form that we can actually call it eco-friendly. So when we say eco-friendly, it's not just we are changing one component and calling it okay, it's eco-friendly. When we say eco-friendly, it means that we have worked on each component, be it parts of a battery, be it packaging, be it process. We are 100% eco-friendly in process also, because the waste that we are generating or the kind of toxic fumes or gases which are there in a normal process, I'm happy to say that we are not in that scenario, and we are able to subside subsidize all those fumes or waste that is there and reusing the water and the other things which are there in the battery. So kind of making a complete eco-friendly product as well as the process.
And then the life cycle of the product, there's two paths, right? There's one, if you do throw it in the bin and it goes to the landfill, then it's biodegradable to a degree, and it's not harmful like a regular battery. And then the other path is you actually collect it and process it, recycle it,
right.
Circular economy to make, is it fertilizer? Is that what you turn it into? Okay.
Yes.
I want to talk about the two paths. And first, let's just go through the throw it in the bin path, where if it goes to a landfill, then what happens to the battery?
That is where aloe vera based batteries comes in, because it's a biodegradable battery. So aloe vera, as we all know, serves as a nutrient. So it also helps and attracts a lot of metal reducing bacteria that actually helps in biodegradability of these batteries. In a nutshell, it's not harming the environment. That's where we come into it and call it a biodegradable battery.
And you can create a circular economy around it.
Yes, so that's one interesting part. That is, each battery, if you see, as well as each battery packet, it holds a Scan Me code. That's a QR code, which can easily be scanned, and people can actually send the batteries back to us, to our collection partners, and we further recycle it into sustainable products.
And we can implement that in Singapore as well.
Yes.
QR code specific for the Singapore market, for retail stores, not just to recollect the batteries, but also to create the whole green rewards and create a whole green rewards program around it. So every time you buy one of these batteries, you get nice rewards for future discounts at the store.
Right.
And then you get more incentives as you come back, and then you
again buy the product, and then you help us. So exactly that.
You can't change human behavior. And that was actually, part of my startup is, the aha moment came some years back, actually, when I was traveling and I was in a very crowded bus, and there's a family in front of me, few seats away, and there was like a family of four, and they were all kind of squeezed into one seat, and they were drinking from mineral water bottles, plastic bottles, obviously. The father was right by the window. When they were done with the bottle, he just tossed it out of the window. So I, feeling like I needed to do something about it, I just go up to him like, hey, when you're done with the bottles, just give them to me, and then I'll help get rid of them for you, And I thought that, I spoke to him in my broken Hindi, but the whole thing was I was trying to get it across to him, right? And I was feeling very proud of myself. Walked back to the back of the bus, I sat down, and then, they were done with another bottle, and guess what? They tossed it out of the window again. And at that point, I think half the bus erupted in laughter, because they're just looking at me and they were just like, stupid foreigner comes here and thinks, you can just change things. The aha moment was that you can't change human behavior, but you can change what's in his hand.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And human behavior, you can. Takes decades.
It does change, but it's like on a massive scale.
Exactly.
And
but then you can change what's in his hand. And if you just toss out something that's biodegradable, that was going to just break down into the soil again, all's good. There's this thing where there's this reputation that green products have as being the alternative. And I hate that. I absolutely detest that label as it being alternative, because I think, as far as I go, they are upgrades. They're improvements on what already exists. And do they satisfy the requirements? And here's a short answer. Yes, absolutely. It's just that the perception around it is that it's the alternative.
Yeah.
Now we need to flip that script. Make it say, this is not the alternative. This is the upgrade.
And I know, Kash, you want to replicate like the circular economy part here in Singapore. But this is where I want to ask Nimisha, how complicated is that reclamation process? How have you set up your collection bins? How do you get it back to the processing center? And then how complicated is the processing?
I mean, you use the correct word. How complicated it is.
Yeah.
So exactly. I mean, it's quite complicated. Not quite. It's very complicated. And the reason is not the process that's involved in recycling or upcycling of the product. The main complication is actually setting up these places, educating people that you should follow this path, and even educating and onboarding collection partners. Even when we tell people that, okay, this is a battery, you instead of throwing it, it's better that you throw it into the collection bins. The answer we get is, what do we get in return? See, all of us know that it's kind of human habit. So we prefer throwing like at random places. But if a person will say, okay, you give me, I will recycle it for you, or I will upcycle it for you, we'll ask, what will you give in return? If you're not giving, then we will not give you. So that was the point that was little difficult for us, because earlier we were setting up collection chains, setting up collection partners, and also setting up reverse logistics. That was quite challenging because it requires a lot of regulatory requirements, as well as a lot of funds that is involved in it. So at present, what we do is, when we onboard a partner for us, we try to onboard him as our collection partner too. And when we make a complete tree around it, so it's easy to follow the same reverse path as we are following for the selling of batteries. So this is how we do at present. We set up collection bins with our collection partners, as well as a lot of corporates, NGOs, and schools who come forward to help us. And I'm very happy to tell you, like, schools are the number one kind of people, or the children, I will say. They are the ones who are super excited to do it. They don't need any money. They don't need anything. They just understood that this is harming us. This is harming our family or our planet. We have to collect it and send it for recycling.
Okay. Very good.
That helped us. Yeah, I mean, schools, these children, NGOs, they are the ones who help us to spread the word, and even help us in setting up the reverse logistic also for us. So at present, this is how it's working now. And when it passes all through the collection points, we take it into our facility, and then we have our own patented process to actually turn the waste that's there to a usable product for the plant. So we make fertilizers out of waste batteries. And on this point, I make it very clear, we not only recycle Aloe E-Cell batteries, we also recycle other sorts of hazardous batteries and other toxic batteries also into fertilizers. So this is what we are doing. Because in our case, so we are saying that it's an eco-friendly, it can be, but for others also, we are recycling, and we have the technology to do it.
Okay, and I know it's patented. I'm not going to try and steal your patent, but how complicated is it, and does it require toxic chemicals to do that, or is it also a natural process? And is it energy intensive or anything like that?
It doesn't require toxic chemicals, because of course we are trying to get rid of toxic chemicals, and again, adding would be not so good or not so true to the words that we are doing. The process requires the proper SOPs and proper set of protocols that have been prepared to follow. And missing out on one part can actually cause problem. So this is how we are doing it. It's not so energy intensive, because when we call ourselves sustainable, we have to be sustainable in all factors, be it usage of energy, usage of water, or even the other resources. So it's not energy intensive, it's not very complicated, and third, it's not using the toxic chemicals too, so that it can actually be converted into a usable form from a harmful form or a toxic form. That's what we're doing.
And are you selling the fertilizer, or are you giving it away to people?
So right now we are not selling it because of the regulatory requirements. So we are still in the process of getting policy changes and a lot of regulatory things done on that case. So it's under the trial and testing, and at small scale we are selling it to NGOs and people who are actually trying it and using it.
So it's more of like a pilot phase right now to get it.
Yes.
Okay. Just a couple things. One, when you talked about how the real complicated part, difficult part was like getting all the stakeholders and educating everyone. That reminded me, another person we spoke to, Dr. Marianne Franco, she calls that the orgware, and it's the orgware that's the difficult part, not the software, not the hardware. It's getting all the people to be organized around it. Back to the battery, because now I want to talk about the competitive aspect, and how does it stack up against its competitors, the non-recyclable ones? So tell me, it says here, what does it say? 1.5 times more power.
More power.
And what else? How else does it compare to just a regular off-the-shelf battery?
So basically, when we say 1.5x more power, of course, it's like 1.5 times we are providing more durability in terms of performance. So for example, if normal regular battery in that case is running for, let's say, 3 months or 4 months, we can power in most of the cases up to 6 to 7 months. It's based on the lot of test reports which says that Aloe E-Cell has went through a lot of tests that were required, and we hold the BIS certificate too. That's similar to a lot of IECs and etc. that's required for selling the batteries. And I'm proud to say that Aloe E-Cell has got it in the heavy duty category. So to power up the devices where the requirement is, let's say, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, we go up to 120 to 180 minutes also in various cases. And that's why we say that we provide a complete package. We don't want you to compromise. We want you to be actually upgrade yourself. I really like the concept that it's not an alternative. It's actually an upgradation of the existing ones. And this is what is the requirement at present. So we should do it.
Mm-hmm. And what's the safety improvements that go along with it as well? It's safer, but can you tell me why?
Yeah. So why it's safe? So first thing is because it is free from toxic chemicals. Of course, that is one thing is there. Apart from that, the kind of materials that are there in the battery, it has actually increased its working temperature ranges. Like when we talk about 0 degree or -1, -4 degrees centigrade, -5 degrees centigrade to straight away to 60, 65 degree, we have tested our batteries and they are working perfectly fine. So even we are now exporting it to various regions which have snowfalls, a lot of cold countries. I'm happy to say that it's giving better performances. Like we were initially thinking, okay, that it will give similar or the performance will decrease, but no, it is not doing that. And it's because of the material and chemistry that's inside it.
Here's the thing, right? The fact that I was able to get it classified as non-DG, DG is dangerous goods, that it could be classified as non-dangerous goods and then brought in through the policy.
That's for the import regulations, right?
That says it all.
Yeah. Now, would regular alkaline batteries, are they considered dangerous goods for Singapore import? Okay. That's already an impressive thing. And the fact that it has the extended temperature range, I mean, maybe that might have implications as global temperatures are higher in certain regions.
Yes.
People might need to be using batteries outside in really high temperatures, and this might, help deal with that adaptation, at the same time. And what are your plans for the future? I think Kash mentioned you're going to have AAA soon. And are there any other things that you have on the drawing board?
So making batteries out of aloe vera is basically the technology that we have created. And we will move step by step. So the AA batteries, it's there. The AAA is on the pipeline. Like very soon the process and everything is there and it will be in the market. After that, there will be button cells and others. Then we'll be moving towards the rechargeable batteries too. So we have already started working on the rechargeable batteries. It's in the prototyping and POC, like piloting kind of stage that we are at. And it will take like 2 to 3 years, but that will be the next product that will be there.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can aloe vera work for more like high energy batteries? Is it suitable for more high tech uses like drones or whatever?
So we are actually working on that segment itself. So when we say the rechargeable, because in that case, we have to work on the battery on all the aspects, be it the energy density, the volume it requires, and the kind of temperatures, the everything that's there. So we are working on it. A lot of things have been figured out, but a lot of things are still there on our board that has to be solved. But we know that we can do it because, of course, the one thing is technology has been proven, and now there are a few things that we have to do to scale up. And I'm pretty sure like we can do it with the team I have, of course.
And I was curious, Nimisha, are you like a material scientist or an electrical engineer, or what was your background?
I'm actually a computer science engineer
Computer science, okay.
by education.
Mm-hmm.
So I am a computer science engineer. My co-founder, he is a civil engineer. But this is what we thought of doing. This is what we wanted to do. And this is the reason we actually studied everything from scratch and did. And I think that helped us also, because many times it happens like when we are studying something in our graduation, undergrad or college, at that time we don't think about the relevance of that topic. So I think that was the good part also, because we got chance to actually learn something new and do it. Because when we started in 2019, at that time, it seemed like we are very like kindergarten or early school children for this kind of topic. So we were learning it with such energy, and we were learning everything from scratch. That's why I think we are in a better position now to actually explain why we did it. And it also tells us that it's not necessary that what you've studied, it's I mean, you have to follow what you studied only. It's like what you want to do, you can at any point of time.
Well, let me ask a real cliched question, but what was your greatest challenge? What was your lowest point? Did you ever think about giving up, or was there ever a point where you thought, what have we got ourselves into? And then how did you get through that challenge?
That's kind of a tricky question because I think the best and worst part of creating something is every day comes up as a high or a low. But being the entrepreneur or being the leader, when you know you have a team where you have to look back, they don't know with what things you are dealing with. So in front of them, you have to be in the same position. You have to be in control. You have to be happy. You have to be the motivator for them. That sometimes is, I will say, little difficult, but that's the beauty of entrepreneurship. For us also, many times it happens. When we started creating the prototype, or the product was different, and then creating the complete process, because there was a time when we understood so many stakeholders are involved that it took us a lot of efforts to actually do it. And then there are people who don't want to sign the documents, who don't want your work to be completed, who don't want you to do anything, a lot of things. But we have to do it. So for us, there was no second chance. For us, there was no option or the plan B. We had only one option, or we had only one choice, I will say, that we have to do it. Be by hook or by crook. Maybe one day we will think, we are thinking, oh, I'm done with it. But the next day we have to get up with the same energy and do it. Because if I am doing something, if I'm making this battery, we started not just that Nimisha and Naveen will enjoy the good batteries that will be there. We started with a vision that the whole world starts using sustainable batteries. So when we are thinking and when we are planning for a bigger picture, we have to. So I mean, I don't have any other line to share. It's just like when you thought you have to do it, you have to do it, no matter what happens. How will you do it? Why will you do it? What will happen? Don't think about anything. Just do it, and everything will be sorted very soon.
I think that is one of the best descriptions of what it takes as like a business leader and an entrepreneur that I've ever heard. Yeah, that's excellent. Thanks for sharing that with us. One curious question I have is just, Is the aloe vera grown in India? Is it grown locally, or where does it come from? I'm just curious.
It's grown everywhere in
Oh,
India specifically. So
okay.
aloe vera is kind of a plant which can actually grow in any kind of climatic conditions.
Mm.
The best part is India is one of the top 5 aloe vera producing countries of the world. So we have a lot of aloe
Okay.
vera. And secondly, the factory where we have our manufacturing unit. So that place also comes under the top 3, top 4 aloe vera producing states.
Excellent.
So
Okay.
yeah, and we have put that in place because, of course, that's the key ingredient
Mm-hmm.
of the battery. So everything has been kept in line.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Misha. This has been really fun to talk to you and learn more about what you're doing.
I really enjoyed talking to you both. Thank you so much for inviting me. I
Thank
really had a very good time.